Hello students, welcome to Target AES. I hope you are having wonderful day. Let us continue with module number 2 of pre-stress concrete. Okay? This will be module number 2. If you have not watched module number 1, it is freely available in YouTube. You can go and watch that video also. So, in this pre-stress concrete, the concept is very simple. In the last module, I have taught you what is the use of introducing this pre-stress in the concrete. It could be at the neutral axis level, or it could be below the neutral axis level, maintaining certain eccentricity. Okay, maintaining certain eccentricity. These are the two cases which we have seen. These are the very common cases. But if you're observing the pattern of examination, most of the time you will be not getting a straight steel mesh like this. Okay, you will not be getting a straight pre-stressing like this. Always, most of the time, the questions will be related to your tendons being like this. Okay, your tendons are being like this, or it could be parabolic, or it could be parabolic, or it could be something like this, a sort of trapezoid. So we have various shapes in which we are applying this pre-stressing. Do you know why? Let us try to understand the importance of this or advantage of this. Obviously, if there is certain advantage, only then you will go for that now, or else this is very simple one, just provide a straight one, right? There should be certain advantage, that's why we are going for this. What are these advantages? Let us try to understand. To understand that, let us revise the concept once. Okay, whatever concept we have learned, let us revise it once. So if you have a concrete beam and it is subjected to certain loading, let me make it very clear, this loading is live load. Okay, dead load you have to calculate always. Dead load you have to calculate always. Okay, you know the density of concrete, multiply with dimensions, you will be getting your dead weight of your concrete. Not at all a problem, right? So because of this loading, obviously you can see, right, if a loading is acting on a beam like this, then it will be deflected. It will be deflected because the moments are generating. That's why bending is happening, right? That's why the bending is happening. In which direction bending is happening? In this direction the bending is happening. And clearly see, just by seeing you can say moments are acting like this. Very simple. Now comes the very important part. Because of this, you can clearly see the bottom portion, it is getting stretched. The bottom portion, what is happening? It is getting stretched, and the top portion, it is getting compressed. You can clearly see the diagram. Bottom portion क्या हो गया? बड़ा हो गया. Top portion छोटा हो गया. The top portion is in compression. The bottom portion, it is in tension. The concrete is weak in tension. Therefore, what will happen? Therefore, there will be cracks in my concrete and it is going to fail because of the tension. To avoid it, what I used to do? I used to use, in the tension zone below this neutral axis, I used to use certain steel bars as reinforcement. Now, whenever the loading is acting, obviously the top part will be in compression, bottom part will be in tension, and this whatever the tensile stresses are being generated, it will be taken by my steel bars and my structure will be safe. That's the concept of reinforced cement concrete. So obviously scientists thought, let us think about something innovative. They come up with pre-stress concrete. In pre-stress concrete, what we are doing is we are initially giving certain compressive stresses. If this is my structure, I am trying to induce certain compressive stresses. Okay, because it is failing in tension. You are very clear. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Because of the tension, it is failing. So when I'm providing this compressive stresses, the tensile stresses and compressive stresses will nullify and my stresses will be in limit and my concrete will not fail. That means without providing any reinforcement, my concrete is safe now if I'm providing pre-stressing, right? I hope it is very clear for you. I hope it is very clear for you. Now, there are two ways I thought you to introduce this pre-stressing. Okay, and one more thing, what are the ways you can give this pre-stressing? Pre-stressing, one is pre-tensioning, pre-tensioning. Second one was post-tensioning, post-tensioning. In pre-tensioning, what you used to do? You used to stretch the wire first. Okay, the wires whatever you have, you used to stretch it first and then cast the concrete and then you catch the concrete and you let it set for 28 days. What will happen? A strong bond, as usual, just like in reinforced cement concrete, how a bond will be formed between steel and concrete, similarly a bond will develop. Then you can cut it. So obviously, as this was stretched initially, but now it is cut, it will try to go back to its original position. So it is trying to apply certain compressive stresses to my structure. This is how you can give the pre-stressing. I hope it is very clear. Or you can give post-tensioning. In post-tensioning, you will be having your concrete, and in this concrete you will be having a duct. Okay? So there will be a duct. From this duct, I will pass my steel wires. Now I am going to stretch it. And I will anchorage it. Using the wedges, I will give anchorage. That's it. Okay. So what will happen? This will avoid from these tail bars to go in, and you will be getting your compressive stresses induced in my concrete structure. I hope it is very clear. This is pre-tensioning and post-tensioning. And write down very important bit. Write down it as important bit. Very important for SSC short question. The minimum grade of concrete for pre-tensioning is M40, whereas for post-tensioning it is M30. Please write down, very important bit. And what is the maximum grade you can use? Maximum grade you can use for this pre-stress concrete, that is M60. So remember this as a bit. Maximum M60, post-tensioning M30, pre-tensioning M40. Very important bits. Now let me tell you one simple fact. When I am giving this pre-stressing, let us say along the neutral axis at the center, what is going to happen? Obviously, because of this pre-stressing force, let us say P, it is acting on the area. So I will be getting a stress, force divided by area. What is stress? It is nothing but force divided by area. P divided by A all over my body. Initially, when there was no pre-stressing, only the loading, what was the stress at any point? It was, I know the equation, M by I is equals to F by Y. I want the stress F, so that will be nothing but M by I into Y. Moment at that section, Mx by I into Y. I hope it is very clear, right? And the diagram will be something like this. Top part, it will be in compression. The bottom part, it will be in tension, as I have just explained above. But now what is happening? If there is a loading, obviously it is inducing moment. And what is the direction of moment? Let us say this is compressive, right? This is completely compressive. Here what is happening? Because of the moments, the top part is in compression like this, and bottom part is in tension. Let us represent compression as like this, so that it will be easy for us. So this is compression and this is my tension. I hope it is very clear, right? So what is happening? You can see at this bottom, basically where you are getting this tensile stresses and my concrete is failing. Now these two forces literally nullify each other or decrease it to a greater extent, so that the cumulative stress is very less and my structure will be safe. So if you are adding these two diagrams, you will be getting something like this. The stress diagram will be something like this. So what is happening? Your stress is decreasing and it is safe. I hope it is very clear, right? समझ में आ गया concept? So this was when I give it at neutral axis. But here there is one problem. What is my problem? My compressive stresses are increasing at the top. Because I am giving compression all over the body, my compressive stresses at the top are increasing and my structure could fail it if it exceeds the limit, right? So let us not take the risk. Let us decrease my compressive stresses at the top also. How to decrease? I am just providing my steel bars, or steel wires at certain eccentricity now. Okay. So I have just provided my steel bars at certain eccentricity. When I am doing that, use your common sense. What will happen? Obviously, here at this level, you are giving your pre-stressing force. So ये क्या हो जाएगा? The bottom part is getting compressed. So as the bottom part is getting compressed, the top part will be in tension, and you will be getting something like this. You will be getting something like this. What is happening? At the bottom part, you are giving compressive stresses. At the top part, you are giving tensile stresses. Okay, I hope it is very clear, right? So what is happening at the top? When I gave it at neutral axis, the compressive stresses were more, but now as I am introducing certain amount of tension stresses because of the eccentricity, the net stress again will be less at the top. Let us solve it numerically. Once again, no issues, we have a lot of time. These concepts are very important. You have to understand from bottom of your heart. Okay? So what is happening? Let us try to understand. Here I have my pre-stressing force, and this is eccentricity E. So what will happen? Let us shift my force, this force P, to my neutral axis. So how to shift? Here force P is acting. So what I will do is, here I will add P, here I will add P in this direction. So net force is 0. There is no change in the diagram. But now see these two things. See these two things, how it will be. It is nothing but a couple. You can clearly see it is nothing but a couple. Right. And this distance is E. So what is the moment? What is the moment? How can you represent this? You can represent it as a couple PE, as a moment PE. So what I have done? Now I have successfully shifted. Now I have successfully shifted this force from bottom to above here, and there is certain moment being induced, which is P. Okay, direction is very important. Direction is very important. I hope you are understanding the direction, right? So you can clearly see, you can just join it, then you will be getting your direction of moment being acted because of this eccentricity. It is very important. Just tell me, what if the eccentricity was above? If I have applied pre-stressing here and the neutral axis is here, what will be the direction of moment being developed? Let us try to understand. Bachcho, very important hai. This is E. I want this force P to be transferred to this point 2. What I will do? I will just add and subtract the same force P at this point. Now you can clearly see it is a couple, right? It is a couple. It is something like this. It is something like this. So join it. So you can clearly see it is going like this, right? It is clearly going like this. So what is the moment being generated? It is like this. So you can write it as P and moment like this, PE. I hope you are very clear about this. So this is how you have to shift the forces. Very important, because you might be knowing, but some of your friends might not be knowing. That's why I'm teaching from scratch. Okay. So now let us understand what is the formula of it. So obviously now you have shifted the P here. So you will be getting P by A, the compressive stress all over the body because of this pre-stressing force. Because of this PE and because of this loading condition, you know what is the direction of moment, right? इस तरह से bend हो रहा है, इस तरह से bend हो रहा है. As if you can clearly see the moments are acting like this, so that my body is bending in that direction. Common sense की बात है. So moment is in this direction. So let us say this is P by A, compressive. So let me draw like this, plus at the top, let us see at the top what is happening. You can clearly see your PE moment. It is what is doing, it is in tension up. Bottom it is trying to compress. You can see the arrow, right? You can see the arrow. Bottom में compression है, top में tension है. You can just see and say. So at the top it is in tension, at bottom you can see the arrow where it is pressing, it is compression, right? Very simple. So what is happening? Here I got compression, at the top I got tension. Okay. So what is the stress because of this moment PE? Very simple. PE by I into Y. Because I know my stress is moment by I into Y. Here moment is PE. So I am getting PE by I into Y. Right. Plus because of the loading condition, the original moment whatever we have, you know, top compression में है, bottom tension में है. Right. Bottom tension में है. Bottom is something like this and top is in compression. If you want what is the stress at the top, you can just add. You will be getting P by A plus, sorry, P by A. And here you can clearly see what is the direction. Here it is in tension, right? So see the arrows. The arrows are going like this and arrows are going like this. It is clearly minus. So P by I into Y plus here it is again compression. So M by I into Y. This moment is because of both dead load and live load. Let us be very clear. If my live load is something like this, you know the dead load. So what will be the moment at this section? or let us say at center, because it is very easy. And critical section will always be at the center. No, because moment kahan zyada rahega if you have a simply supported beam? At the center only. So it will be something like this. What is this moment? This moment is nothing but live load plus dead load into L square by 8. WL square by 8, yeah, you already know na, simple formula, not at all a problem for you, right? So this will be the stress at the top, and what will be the stress at the bottom? Just to see what is there. There is a compression, let us say P by A, and here there is again compression, so plus PE by I into Y. This is at bottom, and here you can clearly see it is in tension, minus M by I into Y. This will be your stress. I hope it is very clear, right? So what is the advantage of giving this eccentricity? Because in the previous case, if eccentricity was not given in the top, my stresses, compressive stresses, was P by A plus M by I into Y. But now, as I have given at certain eccentricity, this factor is extra, minus PE by I into Y is extra. Therefore, my compressive stresses at the top are decreasing in my structure, as well as you can see here my compressive stresses are increasing, and more the compressive stresses, less the chances of tension being generated at the bottom fiber. Negative में नहीं आएगा value, right? Negative में आने के chances कम जाएंगे. Concept is very clear. Got it? So now this is full proof concept, but most of the times whatever tendons you are going to see, right, it will be having certain shape. It will be having varying, it will be not having constant eccentricity, it will be having varying eccentricity. It will be having varying eccentricity. Can you understand why? Let us try to understand. Okay, in the last module we have solved one important question, very important question. So in that question I have showed you, I hope you remember this question, right? We have solved this. So in that question, let me give you a brief summary. There was a pre-stressing bar like this. Okay, there we applied pre-stressing at certain eccentricity, constant eccentricity of 180. What happened here is, obviously my stresses were within the limit here, very good, but at the support what happened? Let us check. At the support at the top I am getting tension. You can clearly see minus 4.8. Why this happened? Common sense की बात है बाबा, common sense की बात है. See, what is the formula when I have it at constant eccentricity? You need not remember as a formula, you can derive it in exam hall, it will not take even a second. So P by A minus P by I into Y plus M Y by I. This was stress at the top. But now let us try to understand this moment, whatever it is, right? It is varying with respect to a section. If you are taking a simply supported beam subjected to UDL, you know how the bending moment looks like, right? It looks like something like this. Bending moment is maximum here. Okay, bending moment is maximum here, WL square by 8. But what happened to this section? It is decreasing. What happened to this section? It is further decreasing. If you are taking the beginning at the support, what is the moment? Moment is 0. Therefore, what is happening? If my PE by I into Y is more than P by A, I am developing tension at the top because of this constant eccentricity. There is a problem. At the middle it could be safe, but at the top वहां पे cracks आने के chances है. Agreed? To rectify this, what I am going to do is I am going to give these tendons at varying eccentricity. I can do two things. I can vary the dimensions of this bar. Okay, I can vary the dimensions of this bar so that it will be safe, or I can just vary the shape of my tendons. Let us see what is happening. Okay, let us try to understand what is happening. This is neutral axis. If I am giving pre-stressing like this, okay, यहाँ पे आके some EX है, okay, and you can clearly see what is the eccentricity here, 0. If you are taking this section, so what is my formula? P by A minus at the top, what is the formula? P by A minus PE by I into Y plus M by I into Y. You know, at the supports there is no moment, this is 0. But here E value, let us see this term, P E by I into Y. Okay, this is the term which is responsible for having tension at the top. Agreed or not? If this value is more, then I am getting tension at the top. See what are the variables. Pre-stress, you cannot change it. E, you can modify it. Eccentricity, you can modify. And I also you can modify, right? That's why you can change the shape of beam. Okay, you can increase the size of beam so that what will happen? It will be within the limits. Or what you can do is, you can just change the eccentricity. Here what I have done is I have changed the eccentricity. At the support, my eccentricity is very close to zero value. Therefore, what happened? This term will become negligible. Let us say at the support eccentricity is 0. Then what will happen to this value? 0. Then it will not have any tension being developed at the supports also. There won't be any cracking at the supports also. I hope it is very clear. At the top of support, you will not have any cracking or tension failure if you are giving at certain varying eccentricity. Concept is clear? समझ नहीं आ रहा है? Everything is done, right? So we have shapes like this basically, or we have shapes like this or like this in general. I will tell you what is the concept behind it, where to use which shape so that you will be getting better results. We will discuss in detail, and this is called as load balancing concept, which I am going to teach in detail. And shoot short question from this, make it 5-star. It is not clearly written in the note, so you have to write down whatever I say, and shoot short question from this. Load balancing concept is very important. Okay, before that, now you understood, right, what is the advantage of varying eccentricity first of all. So to solve this, to find out what is the stresses induced in the beam when I have varying eccentricity, I have three concepts in which I can solve the question. First one is the stress concept, second one is load balancing concept, stress concept, load balancing concept, and third one is C-line concept, P-line concept, or you can also call it a strength concept. Okay, using these three concepts you can analyze what are the stresses in the beam when you have varying eccentricity. What are the names? Remember, stress concept, load balancing concept, C-line, P-line, and strength concept. These are clearly written in our notes. We will see that, and after that I will teach load balancing concept in detail. Okay, how long I have been teaching? यार बहुत प्यास लग रही है. So it's 22 minutes. So what I will do is I will break this module. I will not take more than 30 minutes. And I will continue it in the next module after teaching these three concepts. Or let us finish it also, not a problem. Just give me a minute. Let me erase all these things. So how is your studies going on? I hope you are on the right track. I hope you are studying well. अगर कुछ doubts है, if you have any doubt, you can ask me, okay? And let me make it very clear. Now we are very straight. Every month we are having at least one guidance session. It is your responsibility to approach me, okay? At least once every month you have to take the guidance session. You should update what you have finished in the last month, okay? So today I will be having a guidance session. I will post the link in WhatsApp group. Let us chat today. And if you have any issues, if you want some guidance, you can ask me. And for doubts, obviously 24/7 you can post your doubts in group, and any day, anytime we will be solving that. Now let us see this. Now let us see this concept: stress concept, load balancing concept, and your P-line, C-line concept. Let me delete this also. Yeah, sure. Perfect. Good. Yeah. So I hope you understood, right? Whenever a cable is placed at varying eccentricity, it comes with certain advantages, right? It comes with certain advantages. Wherever you need to nullify the stress more. Okay, obviously at the center you will be having maximum moment, right? You want to nullify it further, then here you will be having maximum eccentricity in general, so that it will be nullified, right? And here there is no such requirement. Moment is very less, moment is very less at the support, so you don't need much eccentricity. Even if there is less eccentricity, काम चल जाएगा. Done. So that was the concept. Now let us see the stress concepts. Now let us see the stress concept. Stress concept is very simple, but this is not 100% exact. It will not give 100% exact answer. Let me make it very clear. So coming to the stress concepts, it is very simple. It is very simple, just like what you have solved in the last module. Same formula. There will be nothing changed. Let us say there is a beam like this and eccentricity is Ex. Let me make it very clear. Not always your pre-stressing starts from neutral axis and end at neutral axis. ऐसा रहने की कोई guarantee नहीं है. Okay, so he can give you pre-stress in whatever way it is required. He can start from here and go up like this also. Okay, here also you will be getting certain E1, here also you will be getting certain E2. I hope it is very clear, right? It is up to the examiner. Wherever he wants he can give, but the concept is same. Okay, concept is same. Let us see this stress concept, which is very simple. So let us say this is how I have a steel bar, I have the steel mesh, and obviously there will be pre-stressing force P acting like this. Okay, P acting like this. तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ इस concept में? See carefully. So if I am taking a certain section, at this section I know my pre-stressing is acting something like this, right? At this certain section my pre-stressing is acting something like this. Let us take the components of it. Okay, if this is theta, it will be P cos theta, and this will be P sin theta. I am assuming this theta is small. What am I assuming? I am assuming this theta is small. So what will happen? I will be getting this similar to that of P, and P sin theta क्या हो जाएगा? Zero हो जाएगा. I literally can take, even if it is making at certain angle P, I can take it as P like this if the angle is less, if theta is less. Okay, so the concept is quite same. Wherever you want, okay, for example, if you want to find stress at this section XX, okay, you want to find sigma top and sigma bottom, what will be the stress? Very simple, baba. You know this eccentricity Ex. Okay, just using the similar triangles concept, find what is the eccentricity at this point. Find what is the eccentricity at that point. Now it is similar to that of your whatever pre-stressing force acting at this eccentricity even. That's it. क्या हो जाएगा? कर लो आप, आंसर आ जाएगा. What was your sigma top? It was P by A. I hope you remember what it was. Minus PE Y by I plus M by I into Y at the top, right? You can derive it, not at all a problem. You are experts now. At bottom, it was P by A plus P by I into Y minus My by I. So this is your answer. And what is the moment? You have to find out at this section X. Okay, you have to find out at this section X what is the moment. So just substitute here and you will be getting what is the stress at the top and stress at bottom. I hope you got the concept. समझने आ रहा है ना concept? So it is very simple. There is nothing to worry about. You will get it like this. Okay, you will get it like this. Not at all a problem. I hope you got the concept of stress concept right. It is not 100% accurate. There are some issues with this. Now let us see the next concept, which is load balancing concept. Give it 10 stars. Give it 10 stars. This load balancing concept is super duper important. Before I teach you the concept how to solve this load balancing, let us try to write and understand how can we apply this load balancing concept. Load balancing concept. See, what I am doing is, I am balancing the entire load by giving my tendons a specific profile. By giving my tendons a specific profile. Okay, it could be linear, something like this, or it could be a parabola, it could be trapezoid, whatever. So how does this work? Let us try to understand. How can I balance the load using just my tendon and nothing else? The entire load, whatever is acting, no live load, मैं उसे neglect करवा दे रहा हूँ. How? Let us try to understand. Let us say there is a point load acting on a simply supported beam like this. What is the moment diagram? What is the moment diagram? Moment diagram is something like this. Agreed or not? So what is this? This is WL by 4. Similarly, if you are taking UDL, what will be your bending moment diagram? It will be something like this. And what is this? This is WL square by 8. You can clearly see at the supports it is less. As we are going to the center, it is increasing. Concept is very clear, right? And what is the purpose of this eccentricity? ये जो eccentricity हम provide कर रहे हैं, what is the purpose of the eccentricity? First of all, the purpose of this eccentricity is to nullify the stress generated because of this moments only, right? At whatever section, the stresses whatever are being generated because of this moment, if this is the moment m, what is the stress? M by I into y. That is the stress being generated because of this moment. My main purpose of this stress generated because of this eccentricity is to nullify this effect. So to nullify it, what I will be giving is, I will be giving the shape of my tendon exactly the same of that of bending moment diagram. I hope it is very clear, right? So you can clearly see when the point load is acting, you want maximum bending moment is generated at the center. So you are providing maximum eccentricity at the center where it is required the most, right? At the supports, you don't need any eccentricity because it is 0. So I'm not providing any. I hope you're getting the concept. So this is how you have to understand it. Done? समझ में आ रहा है? Now comes the very important part. A question can ask, what should be the eccentricity if a point load is acting on a simply supported beam so that the load is balanced, so that this load W is balanced? अरे यार common sense की बात है. What is the moment here because of this eccentricity? If pre-stressing force is P, my moment is P. So what you do is PE is equals to WL by 4 because that is the moment at that section, right? So your eccentricity is WL by 4P. If you are providing this much eccentricity, then your effect will be very minimal. I hope it is very clear, right? So the stresses will be nullified. I hope you are getting the concept. समझ में आ रहा है concept. See, this concept is quite different from the load balancing concept, which I will teach you later on. But I am giving you how you can balance the load. Okay. So I will teach the textbook notation of load balancing concept, जो थोड़ा हटके रहेगा. But I hope you are understanding the concept in a easy language, right? Similarly, what you are doing here is you will provide your tendon in the similar way as that of bending moment diagram. Here you will be having eccentricity, and what should be this eccentricity? For the best results, that will be PE is equals to WL square by 8, E is equals to WL square by 8. Okay, so this is not the exact concept. I'm just giving you a rough knowledge. I will teach you exact concept. Okay, we should not just this W से equate नहीं करना है, WL by 4, WL square by 8 से equate नहीं करना है. I will teach you in detail. Don't worry about it. First try to understand the concept. Okay, for example, let us say if the loading is like this, WW, then आप बोलो कैसे करोगे? How you will provide the tendon so that you will be having minimum stress? Concept लगाओ. So I told you the tendon should be following the shape of your bending moment diagram. What is the bending moment diagram if you have something like this? It is very simple now. It will be like this. Right? याद है आपको? Right? W, if this is L by 3, L by 3, L by 3. Okay, this will be W. So this will be WL by 3, this will be WL by 3. I hope it is very simple for you. I hope आप याद रखोगे, right? So what I am doing is I am just providing my tendons like this, my tendons like this. So I will be providing my tendons like this, so that it will be giving me the best results. Concept is clear. This is called as load balancing concept. But let us go it into detail. Now let us see the real thing, how much effect is there because of this eccentricity. Okay, now let us try to analyze a beam using this load balancing concept. For example, let us say there is some load W, and we have our pre-stressing something like this. Okay, so obviously compressive stress P, compressive force P and compressive force P being generated on the beam. Let me make it very clear. This P, this W, these are external forces. External forces means acting outside my body. There are certain internal forces resisting it, right? So let us try to understand. Let me make it very clear. Make a note. Whenever you have this type of profiles, it could be anything, varying eccentricity profiles. So because of this varying eccentricity, there will be a upward force generated. How? Let us try to understand. Okay, make a note of that, and now let us try to understand. Let us just draw free body diagram for my internal forces. Okay, so यहाँ पे P एक्ट कर रहा है, यहाँ पे P एक्ट कर रहा है. So obviously my internal forces, here it will be P, here it will be P. Agreed or not? To balance this, obviously what will happen, there should be a downward force 2P sin theta. Or you can also see, just why to go into this balancing all this concept here. Very simple, just see what is happening. Here there is P, here there is P. Okay, if this is theta, what will be this magnitude? P cos theta. This is P cos theta. And what will be this magnitude? Because of this force, P sin theta, and because of this force, P sin theta. That means 2P sin theta. So because of this cable profile, what I am getting is, I am getting an upward reaction of 2P sin theta. I hope it is very clear, right? In that simple language also you can understand. No need to go anything in detail. Everything you can clearly see. That means whenever you have a profile something like this, what it is saying is, there is an upward force acting on my body. There is an upward force acting on my body, which is 2P sin theta in this case. Okay, in this case it is 2P sin theta. I hope it is very clear. समझ में आ गया concept? So obviously what will happen, your stress will decrease, because previously I had only, what was my formula for stress at the top layer? It was P by A minus P by I into Y plus M by I into Y. This was at sigma top. If you remember the formulas, the same formula will come here. But here the M will be M net. That is the only difference. Okay, why M net you are writing? See, previously there was only one load. In the previous cases, stress, whatever we have seen. For W, we found the moment and wrote that equation. But here what is happening? There is an upward force acting. So what will be your M net? It is because of this net loading, W minus 2P sin theta. For that loading, or if you are writing this as WU in simple, so that you will not be confused, W minus WU के लिए हम moment पहचान रहे हैं. So you should write M net. I hope it is very clear for you. I hope concept is done. Similarly, sigma bottom, we will solve one problem, you will be more than perfect. P by A plus P by IY minus M net by I. I hope it is very clear. This is how you can solve and find out stress at any location using load balancing method. Okay, so let us see it once. This is very important, bacho, very important. Let us see this load balancing concept. What I have done, because of this varying eccentricity, there is an upward force acting, being induced in my body. Okay, so if it was something like this, linearly varying, then my upward force whatever came was 2P sin theta, right? So if it was not like this, but a parabola, something like this, if it was a parabola like this, okay, let us say this was your structure, what you will do? Very simple है, कुछ problem नहीं है. So let us say, because of this parabolic profile, I got a UDL WU. WU upward force is K. So how to get this upward force? Very simple. Whenever there is a cable and there is certain upward force acting, what will be your horizontal thrust? Horizontal thrust formula हमने this structure analysis में देखा था ना, WL square by 8H, right? WL square by 8H. If this is H, then WL square by 8H was my horizontal force. Here it is nothing but my P. I can take it as nothing but my P, pre-stressing force. Therefore, my this WU, whatever is upward force acting, that is nothing but 8PH by L square. Okay, so whenever there is a parabolic profile, okay, PP act कर रहा है, so it means there is an upward force WU which has a magnitude of 8PH by L square. Like that, you can obviously find out what is the upward force acting and substitute it from the total load which is acting on it and get your M net. That is the only hack here. That is the only hack here. If you remember this, more than enough. If you remember this, more than enough. And one more thing, let us say here I have my neutral axis and here is my force P acting, right? So let us say this is E1 and this is my E2, just for example. Okay, so what will be your moment P? That will be, if you are taking at this section, that will be P into E2. This is the moment because of eccentricity, that is to get stress PE by I into YT आप कर लोगे. I hope it is very clear. I hope you got the full knowledge, right? So same formulas, no change, just mnet likhna hai. We will solve one problem and you will be more than perfect. Similarly, if there are like other profiles, something like this, I told you already. So it is equal to the upward force acting P sin theta and P sin theta. Okay, P sin theta and P sin theta. And if you have a parabolic shape, something like this, let us say this is E1 and this is E2, then your upward force acting is 8 PH by L square, which I have just derived. So where H is E1 plus E2. Now let us see the next concept, which is strength concept. This is also called as C line concept, P line concept, or thrust line concept. Okay, thrust line concept. Very simple, there is nothing much. Let us try to understand how to analyze a beam using this P line concept. But let us try to understand what is the concept behind this. Let us say there is a load W acting, okay, and I have a tendon something like this. I have a tendon something like this. Or for example, just for now, concept समझने के लिए, let us try to understand the concept of C line using pre-stressing in at certain eccentricity. Okay, just to understand concept. See, this is very simple. See, try to understand what is happening. If you draw a bending moment diagram for this loading condition W, how it will be? It will be something like this. Bending moment diagram. You clearly know it will be maximum at center, and here at ends it will be 0. And if you are taking a section somewhere in middle, we'll be having bending moment somewhere in middle, 0 to the maximum value, 0 and in between maximum value. Let us say this is section 1 at support, this is section 2 and this is section 3. Let us try to understand what is happening. What is moment at section 1? सपोर्ट के पास मोमेंट कितना है? 0 है. आई हैव टोल्ड यू मोमेंट यू कैन राइट इट एज C into lever arm or T into lever arm. याद है कॉन्सेप्ट? इन आवर RCC we wrote this moment as C into lever arm or T into lever arm, where Z is my lever arm. So here I have a problem. I know in my member there is compressive force, there is tensile force. It can't be 0. So what is the 0 in this? Obviously the lever arm is 0. That means at this section 1-1, moment is 0. That means my tension as well as compression is in the same line. Okay, so let us try to understand if this is where the tendon is passing. So yahan at this point what is happening? My tension and compression are in the same line. But if you are taking some other point, what is happening at this point 2? Let us try to understand. The moment is not 0. We have certain moment. So moment is C into Z. So what happened here? Z value got increased. Okay, so at this section 2, if this is my compression, this is my tension, and the distance between this is my lever arm. I hope it is very clear. If you are seeing this section 3, what happened? Your moment value further increased. That means what happened? Your lever arm value got increased. That is, my C is moving up. I hope you are getting the point, right? My C is moving up at section 1. Let us try to understand. At section 1, if my C is corresponding to that of tension, then what happened? At 2, it got increased. At 3, it got further increased. I hope how this will proceed. I hope you got it, bro. It will be going something like this. So this is called as C line. This is called as what? C line. Very important. Draw the C line. Now draw the C line. Your compression line, how it will be? If you have a tendon something like this, how will be your compression line? Your compression line will be something like this. Got it? Perfect ho. This is my C line. So in general, what I am doing is my pre-stressing force, which is nothing but compressing force, right? So my C compression, whatever is there here in this, I am taking it as P only. Okay. Some people in some textbook they write it as P line, in some textbook they write it as C line. Not at all a problem. कॉन्सेप्ट तो समझ में आ गया ना, कॉन्सेप्ट तो सेम है, राइट? सो नाउ लेट अस ट्राई टू एनालाइज दिस. Very important and very simple. See, because of the loading at any section, you know what is the moment, right? You know what is the moment at that section. Because of the loading, whatever the loading is given, you know the moment at that section, right? So what I am doing is this moment I am equating it to C into lever arm. What will be the lever arm? Lever arm will be very simple. If I have my neutral axis somewhere, let us say I have my neutral axis somewhere, so this will be my normal eccentricity, the constant eccentricity where my tendon is placed, and at this point this will be my AC, right? The eccentricity of my compressive force acting. So it is nothing but C into E plus EC. So what will be my EC? It is nothing but M by C minus C. Here, when I'm trying to express this as of certain compressive force acting at this eccentricity, see, let me make it very clear. I have already considered the moment at this section, right? I have already considered the moment at this section, and वहां से ही मुझे eccentricity आया. That is the point where my compressive force is moving. I hope it is very clear, right? Now let us take this section. Here I have my compressive force. Let us say this is neutral axis, and here I have my tension acting. It doesn't matter. So my compressive force के वजह से कितना stress आ रहा है? Let us try to understand. This is EC. Let us say this is E. So you know very well what you have to do. This compressive force C, you have to transfer it to the neutral axis, right? Now it is something like this. Compressive force is something like this. Let us transfer it to neutral axis. So what you will be getting? Something like this. So you see this, you are getting a moment like this, right? You are getting a moment like this. Previous cases, when you considered it below, you got a clockwise one, but now you are considering the force above. तो क्या आ रहा है? Anti clockwise आ रहा है. ऊपर compression, you can clearly see the top part, this arrow is pressing it, and the tail, it is lifting it. You can visualize like that. So the top part is under compression and bottom part is at tension. So because of this CRP, what will be the stress being generated? P by A plus, because of this moment PE, it is giving compression at the top, so sigma top will be nothing but P by A plus PEC. Let us be very clear, that is PEC divided by I into YT. Simple, no need of moment. Moment is already considered in this PEC already, right? From M value only we got our EC, no, so no need to worry. This is very simple method, that's why. And what will be bottom? That will be P by A minus, you can see the tail is acting here, the tail of your moment is acting, that means it is getting lifted, it is in tension. So P EC YB by I. End of story. This is how you will be getting your stress. So these are the formula. Some people will represent it as C, some people will represent it as P. It is up to you. Formula तो यही है, concept तो समझने आ गया ना. You just have to find out where your compressive force line is acting at that particular location, and just EC whatever you are taking, just do this, you will be getting your answer. P EC by I, or you can write it as E dash by I. It is up to you. It is all depending on representation. There is nothing such. Okay. So shift of compressive force could be a problem itself. Okay. So make sure that you can answer simple questions. Okay. In this, whatever notes I have written, right? In that I have represented in different manner. I have just written very simple. I know my moment is nothing but P or C into lever arm, which was EC plus E, right? In this EC plus E I have just written as A. Okay, just instead of writing as two terms I have written as A. So what will happen? My A is nothing but M divided by P. And from here if you want EC, that will be nothing but M by P minus E. So same concept है, कुछ problem नहीं है. This is how your compressive force of the section is shifting from one point to other point. That is very important. So this note is very important. Locus of net compressive force on a section along a length. What is it? Locus of net compressive force along a section. So whatever, if you are joining this, you are getting no, that is your pressure line, thrust line or C line. It is very important concept. Okay, it is very important concept. So here I have explained you all the three concepts, but this is just 50%. You have to solve problems. So tomorrow I will solve one problem using all the three methods so that it will be convenient to you. I will use one problem and solve all the three methods, and there are two simple concepts of cracking moment. क्या है? Cracking moment है, and also stages of stress transfer. Yeah, different stages of loading. So there are two concepts, different stages of loading. There are two stages, at transfer stage and at final stage. At transfer stage, what happens is, just for you to give a rough example, you are getting a full pre-stressing force, right? You are getting a full pre-stressing force, but after some time what will happen? This pre-stressing force, there will be some losses, right? So in the final stage you will be considering the losses of pre-stress, whereas in initial stage there we won't be considering any losses. That is the major difference. So I will discuss this in detail, cracking moment in detail, as well as we will solve one major problem. After solving that problem, your concept will be 100% clear. I am sure now it is 90% clear, but कल problem कर लेंगे तो 100% clear हो जाएगा. Have a nice day. I hope you have enjoyed this. If you have liked this video, you know what to do. You have to like the video, share this video with your friends, and if you have any doubts, you can comment below in this video. I will clear it. Have a nice day. See you in next module, module number 3.